Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Who's in the house with me? Who took their naps? Who's up? Okay, I'm coming in cool. Sounding good. All right. Now, Mawa and the family, shalom to y'all. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Naphtali. Naphtali, Shabbat shalom to you. Kohath, shalom to you. What's going on, brother? Hopefully, everybody's solid, man. Shalak in the house, shalom. Shalom, what's happening? Come on in. Come on in. A little echo? Okay, that's because my phone was on. We should be good now. Coming to the light, children. Coming to the light. Hmm? Unless you scared. You like to stay in the dark? You children of the dark? Or you want to come into the light? All praises, all praises. Yeah, when you come on in, don't let me remind you. I'll just leave that there for a minute. You guys was good. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Fam in the house. All right. Listen. Wipe them feet. Show your manners. Okay. Cleanliness is next to godliness for you ex-Christians. How about that? All right now. Uh lot of things to look at tonight. A lot of things to look at tonight, man. Hopefully you took your naps, man. Hopefully everybody's ready. Hopefully everybody's ready. All right. Hey, Shalom, Diz the Wiz, my sister. Shalom to you. Okay. Hopefully everybody's solid, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, the Anointed, Savior of Israel, and Israel alone. Don't get it twisted. Okay. Don't get it twisted. Um, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man, because I got a lot to cover. I ain't gonna have y'all up too late. But we got to get to it. We got to get to it, man. So hopefully everybody got their seatbelts on, man. Y'all ready to rock with me? Let's go ahead and get to sharing. Anybody else they can slide on in. They're going to play catch up. I did I want what, hold on. I want to start here first. Because if all of y'all know, let me reduce that a little. Uh, Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Okay. All of y'all know it's a lot of madness that's been going on with this whole weather situation. Half the country was under a heat wave for most of the summer. Half of the country was dealing with some sort of disaster, be it by flood, be it by extreme heat. Now here comes the tornadoes, and ironically, here in California, we're getting tropical like weather just today. Actually, it's kind of been like humid the past couple of days. They're talking about this, hurricanes coming up from the Baja Coast, and the weather was wild today. If y'all in the city, man, let me know. Long Beach dealing with floods and the threat of floods and uh, from this weather. LA 95, 97, humid, cloudy. Then all of a sudden the wind start kicking up, rain starts happening, but it's still 93 out. I mean, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't in the tropics somewhere. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't in Jamaica or Belize or, Puerto Rico or somewhere like that. But in California though, that ain't never happened. I'm driving through the city. I'm on the east side going to Compton. Winds all flying all over the place, dust flying all over the place. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Next thing you know, rain starts kicking in. Uh Lights are out. So, they had to have some sort of blackout or something going on. Traffic's all over the damn place. I mean, it's out of control. out of control. And I'm just looking at the phenomenon. And hopefully y'all remember last year I shared this article where a CNN ex staffer whistleblower said that once the DVOC was over, they said he readily admitted that they played a part in the propaganda and the hype machine. He said once that's over, they're going to concentrate on global warming and climate change. That's going to be the next big thing that gets publicized and pushed to the public. What are we witnessing now? Let me help y'all out. Let me help y'all out. Okay. We're just going to start here real quick. This is off the rip. Undercover Project Veritas video resurfaces suggesting CNN is going to focus on climate now that the health crisis is over. This was just July 21st that they put this article out, right? They're acknowledging that there's going to be a new focus. And if you haven't noticed, man, CNN has been caught with all kind of corruption. A number of different staffers, heads of the news department, from Cuomo to damn, there was another guy that just got fired because he did some sexual misconduct. Cuomo with the same thing. Then they had Brian Stelter, he's out of there. Bernard Parks, he just passed away. CNN is like a cesspool, man. So here they are readily admitting that they have a new focus that they're going to propagate to the public because the last thing that they were told to focus on, oh, that's over with, huh? I can't tell. We're going to look at a few things today. Yeah, I'm a tiptoe the line. I'm a tiptoe the line of YouTube community, so forth and so on. You know, but I got to do it. I got to do it, even at the threat of them saying "shut up," striking. I just can't let some of this information just slide away and my people not know what they're doing. So here's the footage right here. Footage released by Project Veritas on CNN technical director Charlie Chester discussing the network's move to focus mainly on climate change resurfaced on social media Wednesday. Like art, he's speaking about CNN's focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? Chester said the journalist is in the undercover recording. So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness. The video takes place in what appears to be a restaurant or bar and is a continuation of a series of clips shared in 2021. I'm not going to play it because I'm sure YouTube's got the watchdogs out and they ready to say, "Oh, that's fake news. Oh, we can't let you say that." But the fact of the matter is if you look at the news, if you look at many of the agendas that's going on, if you look at the bills that's been passed by slow Biden, where billions of dollars is going, everything that he said is happening. Everything that he said is happening. Uh, Look at this. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this for a minute. I've spoken on it. This is just my opinion. My opinion. You can think what you want, believe what you want, right? But here we see. I've spoken about HARP. I've spoken about geoengineering. They even had a movie called Geostorm. Let's look at. Here's the movie right here. Geostorm. Some things were never meant to be controlled. Really? Trying to be like God, huh? Okay. So if y'all haven't seen it, go check that movie out. It's Esau readily admitting through movies, as if this doesn't come from a real place. Oh, it's just fantasy. It's just movies, man. This is just dreams. I mean, it's a lie that they put out there, but they know everything that he puts out there has a root of truth. If he's lying, there's got to be a truth behind it, right? When he speaketh fair, believe him not. The seven abominations in his heart. Remember that? Proverbs 26. So there's the movie. Here's an article. Air Force bombshell admits they can control the weather via HARP, right? Here's the geoengineering methods. They give you the whole synopsis on how it works. They even have a video here.
All of you this
Let's hear
morning.
what he got
Very
to say.
interesting. I wanted to ask a couple questions here about HARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Several of you at the table have a little bit of a piece here. As you know, this is
a congressional committee meeting being held where government officials are going to admit the truth.
located up in Alaska. It's currently funded by the Air Force Research Lab. It was formerly funded by the Office of Naval Research.
By the way, fair use. Fair use. This is for teaching purposes. Fair use. So do not try to flag it saying I'm unauthorized using copywritten material. This is under the Fair Use Act. Matter of fact, let me post it. You can't be too careful with these damn demons, man. They trying to shut up everything. Under the Fair Use Doctrine, let me go ahead and post this up. Here you go. Use of copyright. This is under fair use that I'm playing this video. This is for educational and non-commercial purposes with certain restrictions. Okay. So this is for educational purposes, for teaching purposes. This is why I'm playing this. Let me just be clear. All right, let me double back.
Research. One of the prime customers is DARPA, which is currently running experiments at the facilities here. So, questions to several of you this
Let me spread that out for y'all a little bit.
morning. I'm told by the president of the University of Alaska that the Air Force has pulled its support for the facility, and they're taking steps to demolish it or take it down this summer. He's that there is other opportunities for us, and is trying to find a path where the university might be able to take title to the facility. I'd like to start with you, Dr. Prabhakar. I understand that a lot of folks here on the committee probably don't understand what HARP does. I think most Alaskans don't really know what HARP does or why the agency is involved in it. So a very brief explanation and then a more direct question. Would you be disappointed or would you lose something if HARP were to go away?
Senator Murkowski, as I think you know, one of our programs has been using the HARP facility for the research that it's pursuing. And my understanding is that we did get value out of that interaction. The P in DARPA is projects, and we're not in the business of doing the same thing forever. So very naturally, as we conclude that work, we're going to move on to other topics. So,
okay, y'all doing me wrong with these. Y'all doing me wrong when not wiping your feet, man. Some of y'all ain't. Some of y'all just. I know some of y'all feeling I'm late. Let me just jump in. But do your brother a solid. Hit the like button, okay? The number of people in the room or the number of people watching is not adding up with the likes. And I hate to hold y'all hostage. But this is the only way we can get the algorithms going. This is the only way that Lifeline stay, the lifeline of the Messengers of the Covenant channel, the IQAhmath channel. The lifeline can only stay alive if y'all celebrate the works by hitting a like button. That's all. That's all. They're already trying to bury any information, the truth. They're already trying to shut everything down. They're already trying to shut everybody up. They're already restricting and banning and striking channels galore. The only way that we can stay alive, man, is if everybody do their part. All you gotta do is hit that thumbs up. Hit the thumbs down. I don't care. Both acknowledge the YouTube and the algorithms that, hey, interaction is happening over here. That's all we need. All right. Um. So let me go back. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. Bottom line, the bucktooth woman here, Prob Prabhakar, she's acknowledging that yes, HARP does exist, but oh, it's a project. And just like many other projects, once we're finished with that one, we'll move on to something else. So she's trying to make it seem as though, oh yeah, we were just doing some experiments, running some projects, figured out that it works, and now we're gonna move on. Oh, we're not using it anymore. Really, doctor?
It's not a an ongoing need for DARPA, despite the fact that we had actually gotten some good value out of that infrastructure in the past.
Oh, you've got some good value out of it, huh? Okay, okay. So Bucktooth Prop Kahar says that, huh? Let's see. Um, Hold on. Where was it at? How about this one? Look at this. Scientists are zapping clouds with electricity to make it rain. Oh, this is May 27, 2021. That video was from back in what was the date on this one? This article alone came out in 2014. Hello? Is anybody home? 2014, she says the project got put away. They got some good use out of it. Here we are 7 years later. Scientists are zapping clouds with electricity to make it rain. Really? Okay. All right. So what else are they doing? Dubai. Here's in Saudi Arabia. Dubai makes it rain. And we're not talking Little Wayne and Fat Joe. Dubai makes it rain to tackle 122 Fahrenheit heat. Drones blast clouds with electrical charge to produce downpours. Hmm? Oh, so they can. Okay, so that's Ishmael. We see Esau said he can do it. Um, Hold on. Sometimes you gotta. China to expand its weather modification program. December 2020. How China is manipulating the weather. May 27, 2022. China is now controlling the weather. What? Oh, I thought that was all conspiracy. So now we're seeing mass flooding, high temperature heat, rains is happening in times that, I mean, California's been so starving and thirsty for water for years now, and all of a sudden it's going to happen at a time when damn near it shouldn't be, in the midst of a heat wave for the last 2 weeks. Massive flooding in Jackson, Mississippi, India, Pakistan, China, and we wonder if he's out here manipulating things. See, but we know according to the scriptures. Look at this. Am I sharing? I'm not. Hold on. Did y'all miss that? My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. So here we go. Let me double back. Okay. So real quick recap. That video, this article was from May 15, 2014. Bucktooth lady, Dr. Prabhakar, she readily admitted that yes, DARPA was using HARP. U.S. and government officials knew about it, utilized it. She said, yes, it was a project. We got some good use up out of it. We shut it down, and now we moved on to other things. If you believe that, I've got some land over in Dubai that I'm selling for $1. Who's interested? Why do I say that? Oh, because the technology has been sold off and is still being utilized. China to expand their weather modification program. That's from December 2020. How China's manipulating the weather. China to expand weather modification program to cover area larger than India. So they're showing you how far they can expand the weather. China's manipulating the weather. This is May 27, 2022. So China's utilizing the technology. Um, Look at this. Scientists are zapping clouds with electricity to make it rain. This is from when? May 27, 2021. So 7 years later, after this doctor said that they're not doing it no more, guess what? They're doing it. So, like I said, this is my opinion of why we're having such crazy weather and stuff ain't seeming right. Well, you gotta look at who's controlling this stuff. Look, Dubai. Ishmael got it. Ishmael said, "We got money. Give us the technology." Dubai making its own rain to beat 120-degree heat. Okay, so when we start seeing this stuff, we know what's happening. We know that the so-called white man is trying to be like the Most High. Wherefore the Most High gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. This is Romans 1, 24 down to 25. We're seeing the corruption of man. We're seeing the corruption of Israel. We're seeing how they left off from following after the righteousness of the Most High, establishing any moral or civil principles to go after their own lust, to create themselves to being gods, to creating themselves to say, we can do what we want. We're our own. Just like the mentality is nowadays, you only live once, YOLO. Just like the mentality is today, my body, my choice. I do what I want. You can't judge me. All of that madness that goes on, it's all clean. I mean, it's all here. Look at it. It says, and what they do, who changed the truth of God into a lie. So here they are, people wondering and saying, oh, God is doing it. Well, technically, yes, the Most High is controlling the so-called white man. He said he even created the wicked for the day of evil. The deceived and the deceiver is his. So yes, technically, yeah, the Most High is doing all of this to bring forth judgments, as we know. But on the surface level, we have to call a spade a spade. They've changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. While they're blaming Mother Nature and Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Maria and Jose and El Nino, they changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. Now they've got, excuse me, HARP, geoengineering. They're manipulating the weather, saying it's the Most High. You lie. And worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So this is what they're out there doing, right? This is what they're out there doing. I swear to you, I tell you, if you out here in the city or you out here in LA or California, period, tell me the weather ain't like we in uh down south in Florida somewhere. And I'm only speaking on places that I've been to and I've known how the weather is. The reminders and the reminiscent of that type of weather is live and in effect in my mind and in my body. And I see it. I'm like, this is not California weather. We do not get weather like this. Wisdom of Solomon 13:1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High. and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. So the atheists and the ones who never want to acknowledge that the Most High is the one that's in control, that He's the one that actually is the creator, and not giving props and giving uh, credence to quote unquote science. No, we're not giving science to Newton. I mean, we're not giving credit to Newton. We're not giving credit to uh what's the other big nose guy? Einstein. We're not going after the creation. I mean, yeah, the uh why can't I think of the damn term with I'm drawing a blank. Drawing a blank. See, that's how foolish it is. I've completely erased that madness out of my mind. We're not giving credit to man. Bottom line, okay. Verse 2, it says, "But deem either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be gods who govern the world." So, yeah, that's when they start creating all of these different names. Oh, hurricane this, hurricane that. They got an alphabet that they just recycle and they just come up with new names. So they start up Hurricane Andrew, or the next one, Hurricane Bertha, the next one, Hurricane Charlie, next one, Hurricane David. You understand? That's what they do. And they just keep making up new guys. Oh, the tornadoes is coming. Oh, that's not the Most High. That's Mother Nature. You understand? So now they try to make it seem like, oh, the Most High is all out of order. Well, what's going on as far as the seasons are concerned? The scriptures say you got two seasons, summer and winter. What are we in right now? I mean, it's all over the place. Let's see that in Genesis 8. Genesis 8 and 22. It says, while the earth remained in seed time and harvest, you got two times: time to plant seed, time to reap and establish your harvest, and cold and heat. We can't get neither one right. One minute you got the Midwest and down south is hot and cold. Out here we had good weather for the whole summer until August kicked in, September kicked in. Now all of a sudden it's like unbearable. Going to the stores, people scrambling around, hoarding fans, hoarding the damn air conditioners. They're all out of here. Sold out every damn where. And cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. So that's the cycles. And when things aren't in their proper seasons, then they try to make it seem like, oh, the Most High is out of control. No, they're out here manipulating. Okay, they're out here manipulating. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts on it. Okay, but I showed y'all where and why. Darwin. There you go, my sister Water. Darwinism. Yes, that's it. All right, let's get to the juicy parts though. I just wanted to look at that real quick because it was on my spirit today. I was riding around like, damn, what the hell is going on? But I already knew and was feeling it, but I was like, yeah, this ain't right. Let me double back and share with the fam. Okay, so let me look at this too real quick. Double back and looking at the situation what's going on in Jackson. Now they're saying, oh, the water's running out the faucets now. We got good pressure. You can flush the toilets again. Do you realize some people was not able to flush toilets for the last 7 days, or actually more than that? Over the last week, they couldn't even flush toilets. But I've made that scenario before, man. White man, all he got to do is you live in an apartment building, in the projects, duplex, whatever, and the owner or whoever, the city turns off all the water. It, it's gonna be a problem. People got ish all in the waters, floating around, and you got to try to get from point A to point B as the water's starting to dissipate. People pissing all over the damn place. Can you imagine? I was looking at a little YouTube short of Deion Sanders, and he's the coach of the Jackson State football team, the historical black college down there. And he was saying, he was trying to stand on his faith. He said, "Oh, the devil is a lie. We ain't gonna let this stop us because him being the coach in the school, they got to take care of the athletes." So he was like, "Yeah, we got to put up, the ones that staying on campus, He said, we don't have running water. We don't have air conditioning. We don't have ice. We can't flush the toilet. He said, so they're taking the students, they're setting them up in hotels until, things get settled. They got to, bring them the food, the water, make sure that they're able to clean up. They got to go to, separate practice facilities and all of that other stuff. You notice they don't stop. The college football, that's money for the so-called white man and these so-called black colleges who's funded by the white man, right? That don't stop. They said, man, we don't give a damn if it was flooding. You ain't took a dump in the last 3 days because you can't flush the toilet. Get out there and play. But meanwhile, they're canceling all kind of sports events because the queen died. Oh, certain things, you niggas don't have to get out there and play if the queen dies. But if you ain't got running water, can't flush the toilet, your house is destroyed, your family's displaced, hey, the show must go on. Get back out there on that field. Can you imagine? But see, Deion Sanders doesn't take that ideology and put it into a perspective of civil rights type of movement. He's talking about, oh, the devil is a lie. You ain't gonna stop us. We still moving. Come on, man. You just bit the bait. You letting it be known, man, that your players is getting pimped out there. Doesn't matter the type of disaster that's going on. They're still, they still talking about practicing and making sure that everybody's is available. Federal watchdog is probing Jackson, Mississippi water crisis. The EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency, Inspector General's inquiry in Jackson is similar to the Inspector General's involvement in Flint, Michigan. Oh, so they got a probe for corruption? They got a probe for inadequacies that's going on with the piping system? They got to find out that, oh, black folks, the 80% that live out there, haven't been getting treated right, haven't had their water treated right, haven't had their facilities looked at and propagated correctly. While the suburbs, oh, them white folks, they were still doing okay. They had running water, everything was straight. See, a team from the Environmental Protection Agency Office of Inspector General arrived in Jackson last week to begin a multidisciplinary, multiple different damn offenses, top to bottom review of the current drinking water crisis, an agency spokesperson told NBC News. The EPA OIG is keenly interested and concerned about what is happening in Jackson, Mississippi, said the spokesperson Jennifer Kaplan. Last week, we began sending OIG personnel to collect data and conduct interviews, and over the coming week, we expect to announce work related to the city's water system. Look at this. In recent years, the issues with Jackson's water system have come under scrutiny from state and federal regulatory officials who have flagged problems ranging from inadequate staffing at the city's main water treatment plant to delays in carrying out needed repairs. Delays. You're talking about one of the most essential element to sustain life, and here they are, understaffed, and what did they say? Delaying needed repairs. And then you talk about, oh, the levees breaking in Louisiana, oh, the Flint water Michigan crisis. Oh, see a pattern here? Let's look at this. Isaiah 28, we'll reverse too. Yes, this is talking about the northern kingdom of Ephraim and them being judged because of their pride. But I want to bring out number 2 because verse 2, because we're going to see how the Most High utilizes particular judgments in order to bring forth destruction. Verse 2, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which is as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm. You see that? The Most High said he's got a special spirit that is created. He said a mighty and a strong one. He said that one he holds off. He said the one that has to cause flooding, the one that needs to cause the tsunamis, the one that needs to cause major hail and tempest storms and hurricanes and tornadoes to rip up the roots from trees that's been planted and haven't been moved in 100 years. They need to displace homes and destroy roofs off of homes. They need to send cars and cows and stuff miles away from where they originated. The Most High said he's got a mighty and a strong one that's reserved for that, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing. So for whatever reason, the Most High said, I gotta move on Jackson, Mississippi to maybe it might wake up a couple of them Jakes down there. That's 80% Jake. Somebody got to stop and say, what the hell's going on? We may have an opportunity to enlighten somebody and say, hey, you know what? You might want to repent. You might want to start keeping these laws. You might want to start changing your ways. You might want to recognize who you are according to the word of the Lord and embrace that and now live, learn, and apply it in your life. See how things change for you. As a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And that's how the Most High execute judgment. He said he's got the hand, like, uses his hand for judgment. So that's what happened over there, man. I just want to update y'all on the Mississippi thing. But let's get over here. What the moment y'all all been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting. I know I'm late. I know. Guess what? Purposefully, I don't give a damn. Sayonara to the old broad. Okay? 70 years reign. Okay, that's well beyond the call of duty. She doesn't affect me. It's not my queen. You dig? I got one king. That's Yahweh Shai. Period. There's no queen that reigns over me. So does this affect me? No. Am I going to run and act like this is some prophet? No. But I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the death of one of the greatest heathens in English history. And now her pedophile son, well, no, her other pedophile, Andrew, he's the pedophile. Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein alumni. Huh? I don't think Prince Charles hasn't been involved. He says that he's a descendant of Vlad the Impaler. He said that he's a descendant of Dracula. Oh, you don't believe that, huh? You don't believe that? Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Where we at? Let me see if I can find. I'm not gonna show the video. Look at that. I need the mentions already come up. Prince Charles says he's related to Dracula. This is ABC News. Hello? Is this thing on? That's not me saying it. ABC has the says that they are going to report this. Prince Charles is claiming that he's related to Dracula. The genealogy shows that I am a descendant from Vlad the Impaler, which Vlad the Impaler says that he was Dracula. Uh, but look where he says they're from. Are they from England? Prince Charles reconnected with his cousin, Vlad the Impaler, during a tour of Bucharest on his final day in Romania. The prince, who was directly related to the 15th century blood-drinking tyrant, stopped to admire a statue of his relative on Friday in front of crowds of admirers. This is the EU Times. And this is the next king of England. This is the video right here. This is where he says it. I'm not going to play it. But you tell me. Look, 15th century Romanian warlord, not English. So the next question is how did these people usurp the throne and now say that they're British running a whole entire empire? Hmm? Yeah, this is one of the seven horns. Great Britain. Look at his red face, his red pepper nose. Here's your next king. Here's your next king. Here we go. All right. So now we got that out the way. So Queen Elizabeth II dies at 96 after a historic 70-year reign, plunging Britain in a world that loved her. Who? Can we take a poll just in our chat? Did y'all love her? A world that loved her into mourning for an unparalleled lifetime of service, duty, and devotion, and making Charles the new king. Hold on, let me just double check because maybe some of y'all do love the queen. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing in here. Um, yeah, I don't see nobody saying that they love the queen here. Yeah, I don't see that. So who made that up? Who lied? Good lord, man. So the old broad is out of here, man. See you later. Sayonara, man. Okay, that's my eulogy for the queen. Anybody want some tissue? Huh? Anyway. Well, hold on. What my man say? I wonder what the coroner said when they came to get the body. Oh, hey, she damn near shrunk, man. She about 4'8", and she there's the way. No, you didn't. No, you did not. No, you didn't. Tell you know what? I'm going to say you're joking. I know you joking. Shedding tears for this old mana. 70 years, man. The broad, she just wouldn't go. But anyway, all right, enough of her. Enough of her. Let's move. Let's move. Okay. Ukraine military chief says a limited nuclear war cannot be ruled out. So let's get back to the warfare, man. Let's get back to the seriousness. Look, I'm just going to highlight these articles. I'm going to zip through some of them because, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Ukraine military chief says, quote, limited nuclear war cannot be ruled out. This is coming from the Ukraine side. And what is considered limited? When you messing with nukes, man, how can you limit the damage, the destruction, the spreading of the nuclear fallout? How can you limit that? But now Ukraine is even saying we can't rule out nukes, utilization of nukes. Ukraine's top military chief warned Wednesday that a quote limited nuclear war between Russia and the West cannot be discounted, a scenario with grave global implications. Or why is it grave? Why is it affecting the global if it's quote unquote limited? There is a direct threat of the use under certain circumstances of tactical nuclear weapons by the Russian armed forces. So no, they're blaming Russia, huh? There is a direct threat of the use under certain circumstances. Well, let's find out what the circumstances are. The Lord gave the circumstances. Uh, let's go to Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50, and let's read. We're gonna get right to the point. Let's read verse 14. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her." So what's that mean? Bend the bow, and what are you gonna shoot out? Spare no arrows. Well, if we're metaphorically looking at this situation, we're talking in parables. We're looking at similitudes, as it's spoken of in Hosea 12:10. Bending the bow, shooting the arrow. Well, the bow is the actual launcher. The arrows are the missiles, bombs. You've got drones as bows that's running around here lighting up stuff. Ask Slow Biden. Didn't they just shoot the bow and knock down some Afghanistan families back in the summer? And they came back and said, "Oops, sorry. Maybe we can give them some money." Y'all remember that? Hello? U.S. says Kabul drone strike killed 10 civilians, including children. Well, how come there wasn't outcry, public outcry, and all kind of madness that went down because the U.S. killed 10 civilians, including children? They're doing it to look at how much they smear and they drag down the Russians. Every minute they talking about some women and children, and the malls got bombed and apartment buildings got shelled. Civilians are dying. But when The great whore does it when she spreads out and she starts letting everybody have some. When she starts doing these things, nobody says nothing. That shows you that this place is central command for Satan. That shows you that this is where the great whore is riding on the beast. The beast system, she's on top of it. America, Babylon. Nobody says nothing when America does something. But let some other countries be accused of or even commit the same things. Oh, all hell breaks loose. So this is why the nations are upset with America. We've read before Revelation 17:16 will tell you that the 10 horns are going to be upset with the whore and they're going to turn on her. Obadiah tells you that the heathen are going to turn on her. Jeremiah tells us that. So here we see. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Well, isn't that what it said in Revelation 18? That her sins have reached the heights of heaven? Reward her double? Come out of her, my people. Remember all of that? Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are falling. Oh, the economy's the economy's having problems. Oh, inflation. Oh, there's strife within the White House and leadership. Huh? She's spread out thin with multiple wars. She's got to deal with the threat of war in Taiwan. Got to deal with the threat of war with China, with Russia, with Iran, right? With North Korea. The foundations are falling. Confidence in America is dropping. Let's look at that real quick. Done a poll on that. Look at this. Washington Examiner. Faith in America and institutions is collapsing. Americans' faith in election integrity drops. Americans are losing faith in democracy. This is all for 2016 moving on up. 43%. No, that's all religious. Nobody care about that. But you see the headlines. That's just one little search. The foundations are falling. Right? Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. Remember that? Reward her double, even as she have rewarded thee. See this? Revelation 18:5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Didn't we just read that in Jeremiah 50? Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Okay? So let's go back. Now we understand why there is a direct threat of the use, under certain circumstances, of tactical nuclear weapons by the Russian armed forces. Yeah, it's understood now because the Lord is going to put that spirit on the Russians, on the Chinese, on the North Koreans, on the Iranians, on Pakistan. Okay, the spirit's going to get put on them, and they're going to use more than just tactical. There's a reason why New York is running ads and videos talking about prepare for a nuclear attack. But see, the thing is the nations aren't going to get all the glory. Please, Yahweh Shine the angels got to have a piece of this whole. To put it frank, you understand? Let's move on. The Ukrainian commander-in-chief, General Valery Zolzini, or whatever the hell his name is, wrote in an article published by Ukraine Forum, a state-run media outlet, quote, It is also impossible to completely rule out the possibility of the direct involvement of the world's leading countries in a quote limited nuclear conflict in which the prospect of World War III is already directly visible. It's right in sight. Hmm? He says that World War III is already directly visible. It hasn't started yet, but he can see it down the line. He can see it coming. This is coming from military chiefs. This is coming from world leaders. This is coming from the people who got the nukes, the codes to the nukes. Okay. He said it's visible. It's right there. Take it for what it's worth. Let's move on. So Russia's getting desperate. Russia recruits soldiers from mental health unit to make up a troop shortfall. So they talking about the Russians is taking major L's. They losing troops, you know. And they said, well, we need to go get some of the mentally ill to run out there and fight. So you know it's really about to get turned up. They better, they're gonna lose more. They gonna catch some. You got some mentally health cats out there running wild, man. Give them weapons, man. They're gonna mess around and shoot themselves, shoot each other. They going out there unskilled, on meds. So good luck with that. But it just shows you how maddening the situation is. And the more desperate Russia gets, the more that they're gonna mess around and say, you know what, the hell with this. Because maybe they're ground troops, maybe they hand to hand, maybe all of that. They're not skilled as everybody perceived. But whoever looked at them as a super strong army, it's always looked at as they have the weapons, the Satan II bombs. They got them nukes. They got them nukes. That's what held everybody in check with Russia. But now we're seeing them actually going to war on the grounds, and actually they had war with Ishmael back in the 80s. That's where you get Osama bin Laden and the Mujahideen was getting trained by the CIA to fight the Russians, to give Afghanistan some uh what was it? I forgot the whole political reasons about it, but that was part of that whole Cold War, man. And Ishmael came out on top, so Russia ain't really, you know, that skilled. I guess with their armies when it comes down to ground combat, but they always got that ace in the hole. And all the experts are saying Putin is not going out. He's not going to take an L with this. He can't just tuck his tail and come back and be like, you know what, I'm sorry. It's a bad move. We're getting our butts whooped. I surrender. You can replace me as leader of Russia. You know what? Y'all can have control of the oil and my gold reserves and everything else. Yeah, I'm going to turn back on the heat and let the gas flow all through Europe. Y'all can have it. You think he's going to do that? At 70 plus years old and they keep talking about him having health issues, why wouldn't he go out in history and say, you know what? That's just the pride of the so called white man. The white man will go out and say, the hell with it, man. They're going to read about me going down in history. I would see him doing that before saying, I give up. Look at this. Russia to buy rockets, artillery shells from North Korea. Remember, they've been buddy buddy. After North Korea kept running around flexing their muscle, doing all kind of defiant tests with their nukes and their rocket systems, Putin grabbed little rocket man by the shoulder and said, come on over here, homie. You want in? You want to be part of the team with me and Xi Jinping and India and Iran? You want to be down with the big boys? And little man said, "Yup. What you need? Well, let's start off with let me buy some of them rockets and artillery shells because we need to turn up against these damn Ukrainians." And guess what? As I showed y'all time and time again, Esau or the people of Edom and their relationship with Moab and Ammon has been tight for thousands of years now, going all the way back to our Exodus, going back to where they dwell from Jeremiah 25 and Um, Second Ezra 15 and 16. Um, uh, Judith 5, Judith 11. I mean, we constantly see these three knuckleheads hanging out, networking, plotting, and planning with each other. So, is it any surprise that we see the white man go over here to Ammon? Excuse me, yeah, to Ammon, and say, "Hey, uh, let me buy something off you. You know I'm in a war over here." And of course, Gigi. I mean, what's the little dude's name? Not Gigi Ping. I forgot his name, but Little Rocket Man, as Trump would call him. He says, "Man, sold." So the Russian Ministry of Defense is in the process of purchasing millions of rockets and artillery shells from North Korea for its ongoing fight in Ukraine, according to a newly downgraded U.S. intelligence fighting. So millions of rockets and artillery shells, millions. They're trying not to go full blown nuke. So they're going to get these rockets. They're going to get more artillery shells. They're going to start launching and bombing the hell out of the Ukrainians. Brigadier General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary, said Tuesday that the quote information that we have is that Russia has specifically asked for ammunition. He said the U.S. has seen indications Russia approached North Korea, but said he had no other details, including whether money has changed hands or any shipments are in progress. So, as usual, the gray whores got their nose in everybody's business, ears to the streets. You know, she's pillow talking with everybody, and she's getting that info. That's America for you. North Korea codifies right to launch preemptive nuclear strikes. So now look at North Korea. North Korea turned up because now they say, oh, well, Russia's got our back. That means that China by default is going to get our back. We're going to go ahead and push the issue and let it be known. I mean, who's their number one enemy outside of South Korea? America. Who are they constantly flexing these nuclear deals with? I mean, tests for? Who are they constantly having them answer to every time the so-called white man goes over there, from Trump to Obama to slow Biden? Every minute they got to check them and be like, "Hey, slow down over there. Know your place." Kim Jong Un, you can't do that. Now he's in complete defiance of slow Biden. Now they've recodified their whole law in regards to when and how or why they can utilize nukes. Look, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un declared his country would never relinquish its nuclear weapons. Did you hear that? Because the white man is always saying, relinquish your nukes or you're going to get sanctioned. Relinquish your technology of nuclear power or you're going to get sanctioned. So North Korea said, no, it's on. We're going to always have nukes. As the regime's leadership codified in law its right to launch preemptive nuclear strikes, state media said Friday. The North's rubber stamp parliament passed a law authorizing the military to use nuclear weapons, quote, automatically and immediately. Automatically and immediately. In case of imminent attack against its leadership or, quote, important strategic objects. See how, ambiguous that is? We don't know what that means. What important strategic objects are they including if an attack happened? We don't know. It could be a damn McDonald's that gets vandalized or gets hit with some shelling if they ever got into it with South Korea. Who knows? I mean, I'm being facetious. I know it ain't a McDonald's, but we don't know who. Important strategic objects. That's a quote. What is that? In the country, the Korean Central News Agency said the law updates Pyongyang's rules on when its nuclear arms can be used, including in response to an attack by weapons of mass destruction or in case of a, quote, catastrophic crisis. What does that mean? Catastrophic crisis. I mean, they've been running around saying that the DVOC 91 was a catastrophic crisis. What qualifies as a catastrophic crisis? They're leaving the door open. Do you understand? For whatever they decide is a reason, it's up. That threatens the safety of the North Korean people. North Korea's constitution already proclaims the country to be a nuclear weapons state. So we see what they're doing. They're turning up over here. Belarus begins military exercise on Poland's border and just 20 miles from Ukraine to rehearse liberating territory and regaining control over border regions. So more activity going on in the land of Gog and Magog. Here's Belarus right here. They're running drills down here. Poland, as we know, is a NATO operated country. And here we are, Belarus now is in the midst of a running drills. And they said that this is the same thing that happened when Russia got into it with the Ukrainians. So they're only inching a little closer. And this is under Russian rule, to my knowledge. They're inching a little bit closer to NATO territory. Is NATO going to react? What is NATO going to do in response? Well, let's look. Belarus begins military exercise on Poland border and just 20 miles from the Ukraine to rehearse, quote, liberating territory and regaining control over border regions. That's what the whole issue is with Russia and the Ukraine. It's about liberating territory or regaining control over border regions. We all should know that by now. This civil war has been going on between Russia and the Ukrainians since I think 2016, and even earlier than that, when I think in the 90s, Ukraine annexed himself away from Mother Russia and said we're on our own. And Russia's always said, no, you're part of this region over here, and you're supposed to be under us. So we're not seeing that happening. Thus, the war. So now Belarus is moving closer, right? Belarus said military exercises taking place by the city of Brest near Polish border. The exercises will practice, quote, liberating territory temporarily seized by enemy. Defense Ministry said the military exercises will continue until September 14th. Okay. Belarus has started military exercises by the city of Brest near the Polish border. Its capital, Minsk, is the northeast region of Vitebsk, the defense ministry said on Thursday. Belarus, a close ally of Russia, said the exercise is located just 20 miles from Ukraine's border and 6 miles from Poland. So they're an ally of Russia. They're not under Russian rule. But however, the fact that an ally of Russia has moved in closer to these particular NATO countries, in particular Poland, is going to be looked at as a threat by NATO, even though they're saying, "Oh, these are just drills, just exercises, nothing to see over here." Best believe NATO was going to look at this and say, "What are they doing?" In the land of Gog and Magog, man, we're seeing more activity continually getting turned up. Look at it. Russian President Vladimir Putin used similar rhetoric to justify his invasion of Ukraine earlier this year and has staged war games near the border before sending his troops into battle. So, in other words, they're saying we've seen this one before. So, if it's not Russia, but if Belarus is the one that goes and imparts on Poland, well, boom, there you have it. NATO's got to get involved under Article 5 and all of that. And now they got to get busy. And guess who else has got to get Belarus's back? Oh, Russia. And then that's going to draw in China. That's going to draw in North Korea and all the rest of them. So keep your eye on that situation because they're saying this is the same thing that happened with Russia and the Ukrainians before that war jumped off. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's something to pay attention to. We shall see. All this going on, look what Esau's doing. He always thinks he can run, man. He thinks he's going to escape judgment. The super rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. Tech billionaires are buying up luxurious bunkers and hiring military security to survive a societal collapse they helped create. But like everything they do, it has unintended consequences. So if the tech billionaires and these rich heathen junkies are all running around preparing for an apocalypse, but at the same time they're paying off fact checkers, they're paying off Google community guide, YouTube community guideline, they're paying off all these other people to say anybody talking about an apocalypse, World War III, end of the world, voting corruption, famine, starvation, blah blah blah. They're cuckoo, they're crazy, they're tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, so forth and so on. Don't believe them. While he's on the line with the bunker guy. Okay, how much is the down payment? Yeah, I need to get the hell out of here because I've done a whole lot of evil and a whole lot of wickedness, and I know it's going to come back on me. 2 million, no problem. You can see the videos on YouTube, man. These cats got some luxurious damn bunkers. You would think that they living above ground. You talking like 12? I forgot how deep these things go, man. Damn near like 200 feet underground. They've got pools, like a beach setting. They've got 2 and 3 bedroom condominium units down there, libraries, a damn grocery store with survival and prepper canned foods and all that other stuff. That's just one particular spot. Dog park, you can take the dog out for a little walk around the compound. Underground, that is. They've got windows, VR windows that you can look outside, and it's going to look like you're looking at a nice spring day. Oh, you want to set it to a winter setting so you look outside and it looks like you're in the winter so you don't miss home. They've got all of that stuff, man. All of that. I'm sure some of y'all probably seen them. But hey, it's all in vain, man. The Most High gonna sniff him out. Look at this, Revelation 6, and let's read verse 15. We'll read 14 and 15. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, they're gonna be trying to take some damn servants with them, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Everybody thinks that they're gonna be trying to run up out of here. Bondman, free man, thinking they're gonna take they taking some servants and butlers with them, or the bondman and the free man who begged their boss to to come on in with them. You got room for one more? Remember that in 2012? You seen that movie where all hell was breaking loose and the Russian cat had he had access to a plane. Then they had the access to the little arc ships, and they was like, "Nah, you got to pay for this. You ain't paid." And the cat of the main story, he was begging to get his family on and all of that. They gonna be doing the same thing. Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Verse 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? See, white man thinks he's going to get up out of here. Tell me the Bible ain't real, man. They talking about, oh, that's written by the white man. Here they are talking about the same thing that we just got to reading about. Them running under mountains and bunkers and hiding underground, saying, let the rocks fall on us so that we can hide. Are you crazy? Let's look at this. Verse Isaiah 2. And we'll read 18 and 19. It says, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. So they all know the judgment of the earth is coming. They're talking about the apocalypse. While they're running around talking about, oh, you Bible thumpers, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you Israelites, you're in a cult. You guys are crazy. You guys are dressing like genies and all that other madness. But meanwhile, they're over here dropping $2 and $3 million based upon the prophecies that we're talking about. How about that? They running smoke screens, speaking with forked tongues, being hypocrites, just like we just got to seeing earlier, paying off news channels like CNN to direct propaganda and thought of the people, fear mongering here. And you might say, oh, you fear monger. But anything that I show you is based upon articles and scripture. That's it. And the scriptures say that the prophets of old prophesied against many countries, against wars and famines, pestilence. So I guess the prophets of old were fear mongering too, then, huh? I guess Noah was fear mongering as well, right? Oh, okay. Uh, Look at this. In that day, a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship to the moles and to the bats. I mean, what? Their money's not gonna save them. The idolatries and the false gods and deities that they've been bowing down and worshiping is not going to save them. But you're looking at what? The economy's going to crash. They're going to say, man, this ain't worth it. Ezekiel 7:19 says they're going to cast their silver and gold in the streets because it's a stumbling block of their iniquity. And then what they're going to say? When everything collapses, let's go back. Let's go to the bunkers. To go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the ragged mountain, like ragged rocks, for the fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty, and when he arises to shake terribly the earth. See, they know what's happening. They know what's coming. Look at this in Psalms. They know what time it is. Look at verse 12, 76 and 12. He shall cut off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. That's how the Most High is rising. You see, the Most High is not letting them get away with, man. All the top CEOs. You notice that CEO over there at Bed Bath and Beyond. I didn't even talk about him. Everybody knows he done committed suicide. Jumped out the window of his Tribeca home. Plunged all the way to his death because he starts seeing everything collapsing around him. Bed Bath and Beyond collapsing. But the bigger thing is that he got caught in over a $1 billion Ponzi scheme or something like that. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, see what happens. I mean, he's in the midst of corruption. The love of the money is the root of all evil. It ain't the money. I mean, he's casting the storyline immediately was, oh, it's because he got to lay off workers, and it's because they got to close multiple stores. Oh, it's because the stocks is down and everything else. Oh, he just couldn't handle. No, this dude was out here still doing wickedness, scavenging up more money, bleeding people dry. Bed Bath & Beyond CFO, who leapt to his death from New York skyscraper, faced a pump and dump allegation just days earlier. Pump and dump schemes, damn near like a damn pyramid scheme. He out here pumping up some stock issues or whatever, selling hype. Took the damn money. Then he realized he got jacked up, and they was on to him. And I think they said that this thing. I want to see if they got the number. But I seen another article. They said that it was damn near 1 point something billion dollars. So he was corrupt. Most High put the spirit on him, man. Said jump, jump. While his wife was at home, she had to witness that, man. That's gonna stain her brain until she, keels over. But I'm sure she wasn't. She may not even known that he was into that corruption. Then again, maybe she did. But I'm sure she wasn't trying to stop him, to move him up out of that high rise. She wasn't trying to stop him. out of the luxury cars and the nice bags and the fur coats and the champagne and the dinners and the vacations. Huh? You think she was trying to stop that? If she knew? But see, that's how the Most High said He's going to cut off the princes, man. All the low level CFOs, CEOs, and um, the next levels of rulership that think they're coming up the root. Most High said, man, He's cutting them out, man. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. The Most High is going to really judge these people, man. These heathens that's running around here corrupting the earth, spoiling the children of Israel, man. Leading with still lies and corruption and oppression, not serving justice for our people. I mean, they got to pay for it, man. How many people you think that he scammed out of Israel? Who knows? But he knew he was guilty of sin, man. Dude had to jump out the window. That's what happened with him. It ain't because the economy was bad and he couldn't handle it. Nah, the dude was about to face some serious charges. And he said, man, I'm out of here. I can't face this. Look at Bernie Madoff. Remember him? See, that's why the Most High said in Isaiah, he said, man, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. Let's look at Psalms 110. And let's read 1 down to 6. It says, a Psalm of David, the Lord said unto my Lord, or Yahweh said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. So we know that this is the Most High. This lower Lord is Yahweh Shai, because David is saying, Yahweh said unto my Lord, who is David's Lord? Yahweh Shai. Okay. Sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. It said, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. So when David came into full power, everybody wanted to serve after David. Everybody wanted to follow after the ways of the Lord. That's the same way that once we start showing ourselves as adequate representations of righteousness, the people's going to be willing to follow. When we start taking back our power, and you're seeing that now, the so-called white man doesn't hijack the whole Great Awakening. It ain't about the damn world waking up in the quote woke community, because what are they woke to? LGBTQ, HIV. What are they woke to? Oh, corrupt politics. We've already been talking about that for years on that, man. Give me a break. No, the Great Awakening is the children of Israel waking up to their nationality, waking up to repentance, waking up to following the law, statutes, and commandments, waking up and knowing who your enemies are. Okay? All right? That's the Great Awakening. But the white man wants to take it with a hashtag and say, no, that's our movement now, or we're going to share it. Let's read on. The Lord has sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall make strike through kings in the day of his wrath. See, that's why I said Yahweh Shai still got work to do here in America too. The angel, this place gonna hit by the flames of the chariots as well. The Lord said He's gonna plead with all flesh in Isaiah 66 with heat, with fire. He said the one that's over there eating swine's flesh and the damn dirty mouse, all gonna get it. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. Well, we know Yahweh Shai sits at the right hand of the Most High. He's going to strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with dead bodies. Can you imagine? And they say Christ is coming back to love everybody. He's coming back to share his love with everyone. He's coming back to whosoever believeth. Really? When he said in Luke 19:27, he that would not that I should reign over him, bring hither and slay them before me. He said he's going to have a garment, an vesture dipped in blood. Who is this coming from Basra? Like he's came from a wine vat? So much blood all over him? I mean, excuse me? Who are they talking about? He shall judge among the heathen. Uh, the heathen. They got judgment coming, just like Israel does. He already said, man, 2/3 of my people, they got to go. Brother Aladai gave a lesson on that last weekend. 2/3 got to go. So, in fairness, oh, the heathen, you got some stuff coming too. Don't think, oh, we're grafted in. Oh, we're gonna slide in under the garments and the skirts of the Jews. No, you getting judged too, man. And he said he's gonna fill the places with dead bodies. Well, reward her double, even as she rewarded thee. What's it say in Revelation 11:8? This is a place where the dead bodies of the saints are scattered all over the place. Paraphrasing. So now this place got to be filled with dead bodies too. He shall wound the heads over many countries. So the heads over many countries, meaning these kings and rulers, he said their heads is going to be wounded. They're going to be getting decapitated. Oops, upside your head. Hello? That's what's going to be happening to them. But here they are scrambling around saying, come on, let's go. We've got bunkers ready. I've got food for 25 years. Recyclable water, swimming pools. We're good. We'll peek our heads up like groundhogs, when we hear that the coast is clear. Oh, we've got military security that's going to hide. Man, the security going to be running for their damn lives. How do I know that? I survived the riots in 92. I seen cops bailing the hell out of there, running for their lives. I seen cops hitting sirens, trying to get to the next spot because it was too much going on with blacks and Hispanics turning the city upside down. I mean, blatantly just leaving the scene of the crime, saying, we're out of here. I don't get paid enough for this. That same spirit of fear is going to fall on these same military security holding down the damn wicked. They're going to say, man, we're out of here, man. You ain't paying us enough for this, man. You see, heads are rolling, man. Blood is all over the damn place, man. Them chariots just bombing away. We're out of here. No way. Thus saith the Lord. Let's move on. Jackson, Mississippi having issues. What's going on in New York? Toxic arsenic levels make tap water unsafe for thousands in New York City. So look, here goes more water. And they got the reverse osmosis. Some of these, purified, quote unquote, purified waters is really half-ass water. It's maybe like a step above tap water in some instances. They're just getting that stacked up all over the place. So you got water crisis still going on in Flint, Michigan, still happening in Jackson, right? Now New York. Thousands having issues. Residents of one of the largest public housing complexes in Manhattan have not had safe drinking water for more than a week. And the East Coast is used to drinking out of tap water because they live on the coastal lines and they get supposed fresh water that comes in that they can, refurbish the cycle through the sewage systems or whatever they got going on. But I've been on the East Coast; they drink right out the damn faucets. In many instances, I'm not gonna say everybody, but I've seen it. Believe me. So they got water crisis over there. But not only that, polio has been detected in New York City wastewater. And I looked at this and they got the fact checkers already out. Oh, it's just in the wastewater. It's not the drinking water. Oh, well, guess what? They just already got arsenic in the damn wastewater. You acting like that's actually something to be bragging about. Now it's polio in New York wastewater, officials say. So now they're saying, oh, well, don't worry about it's just the wastewater. But they got thousands of cases of people already coming up with polio now. So how are they contracting it just through the wastewater? Explain that. Look, I'm gonna show you. Look, New York declaring a state of emergency over polio. Why is it a state of emergency if it's just in the wastewater? How's it getting to people? Silent spread of polio in New York drives CDC to consider additional, of course, of course. What they got to do? A polio case identified in New York last month is, quote, just the very tip of the iceberg. There must be several hundred cases in the community circulating. I said thousands, several hundred. How about that? Oh, but there's no problem with that. It's just in the wastewater. It's just in the wastewater. Hold on. See? Look at it. Fact check. Polio was found in New York wastewater. Not, it's tap water. As if they're trying to tell you, It's fine. Don't worry about it." Hmm? Polio found in New York City wastewater, not tap water. Don't worry. Drink the tap water, right? Oh, really? Should we drink the tap water? Oh, no, can't do that either because arsenic is in the tap water. And then you got hundreds of cases, and they said it's just the tip of the iceberg of people contracting polio. Oh, but it's safe. Don't worry. It's just in the drinking water. Huh? Uh, what happened to Bill Gates when he was in India? Oh yeah, right. See, uh, where was this at? See, look at this lawsuit filed against Bill Gates for murder in India. Indian doctors blame the Gates campaign for a devastating jab strain of the polio epidemic that paralyzed 496,000 children between 2000 and 2017. In 2017, the Indian government dialed back Gates' vaccine regimen and evicted Gates and his cronies from the NAB. Polio paralysis rates dropped precipitously. This is a fact check. Hmm? And guess what they're saying they need to do in New York now? You trust the system? You trusting it? Almost 500,000 children got paralyzed after he went over there poking arms. Imagine that. And look what they got. Ready to go. You trust them? At your own risk. Okay, let me move on. Uh Now I gotta be careful with this. Gotta be careful with this, because you know how they play. So, you know what we got to do? We might have to Charlie Brown this. But I'm gonna read some of this. I'm gonna read some of it though. But look what the headlines say. Research assistant for California Teachers Association was paid to dig dirt on parents groups who opposed the medical treatments and the shutdowns across the state. New release email show. So they had watchdog paid people to dig up dirt on parents who was against shutting down. So tell me that there wasn't a concerted effort to push this particular agenda to make sure that full control of you, your household, your children, your body was under the watch of the government for your health. You understand? So now it's coming out that there was people who were actually um let's say private eyes damn near. Snitches. You understand? Who's following around saying, "What do you do? What do you do? What are you watching? Is there anything that we can dig up some dirt on them so we can get them fired? Is there anything that we can get up that we can get them arrested? Is there anything that we can find out that they're doing illegal?" Because here they are with their big mouths talking about how they're against the medical precautions that are being utilized to get this thing under control. A researcher with the California Teachers Association in April 2021 emailed members of a school parents group to ask for advice. The researcher, Ann Swinburne, said she was investigating the various, quote, reopen groups around the state. At the time, California schools were closed and lessons were remote. Many parents were unhappy at the arrangement and agitating for change. Swinburne's tweets from a now deleted Twitter account, imagine that, show her suspicion that the parents calling for schools to reopen were being used by right wing actors. She tweeted that parents are used toward a larger goal to disrupt, destabilize, and, quote, burn down public schools. See, the propaganda. Let's move on. NATO chief warns of civil unrest sparked by energy cuts and the price of living crisis as Putin's invasion continues, but says it is vital the West stands with Ukraine. So now we're seeing issues happening within NATO where they're concerned that civil unrest is going to break out over these energy cuts. Well, guess what? He's onto something. Um, they just had major protests in Prague. 70,000 protests in Prague against Czech government, EU and NATO. Well, we just looked at it on Wednesday. Second Ezra 15 about sedition and seeing what sedition meant. This meant that there was a direct rebellion against government, against the said state of leadership. That's sedition. A plotting and a planning against leadership. That's sedition. That's um government. You understand? 70% of protests, 70,000 protests in Prague against Czech government. They're out there. And what is it about? Control soaring energy prices and voicing opposition to the European Union and NATO. So they're against the EU and NATO. And they're members of NATO. And they want out. They're not with it. So now you see why that's just one example. Now you see why NATO chief is saying there's going to be civil unrest over this energy and the cost of living. I seen a video uh in the UK. It's like the Hunger Games. Some popular talk show actually did almost like a Wheel of Fortune thing. They had some dude on the phone and they was asking him about his situation. He was like, "It's very hard out here. I can't pay my energy bills. Food is out of control. Blah blah blah." Now they're talking about the energy bills going up. I won't be able to keep the lights on, the heat on. And they were like, "Oh, mate, sorry to hear about it. Blah 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 blah. Well, glad we got you on the phone. We're either you spin the wheel. He was either going to win £1,000 or they would pay his energy bill for 4 months. As if they're out there exploiting the fact that people are not going to be able to live through this winter. And it's a Hunger Games thing, shake of the dice. Will we give you $1,000 or will we pay you up to 4 months? Let me see if I can find something. Let me see if I can find that. What the hell? Let's see, Satan, man. Um, four months of energy bill. Uh, Trying to see if I can find that video. Damn. I can't find it on this one. It's over with. I ain't gonna try to go there. I don't see it on here. Off the direct. But let me see. Oh, but boom, there you go. See, look at this. British TV show offers to pay energy bills as a spin the wheel prize amid growing fears of Europe's dystopian crisis. See how they doing it? You win €1,000, or they pay your energy bill for 4 months. It's the Hunger Games type thing, man. Let's see what happens to Johnny. Spin the wheel. Oh, you only got €1,000. That might pay your bill for the next 2 months. He's gonna freeze out January, February, and March. You understand? So everybody knows the situation. A British morning TV show had an unusual prize offer on Monday to pay someone's energy bill. The dystopian prize reflects a deepening oil and gas crisis in Europe and neighboring countries. The UK's regulator has increased the energy price cap by 80%, meaning millions face a tough winter. I think how they work over there is they cap out or max out the price that you'll pay per year for your gas. You know, out here is based upon usage. You get a monthly bill. They pay, I think, for the whole, for the whole year, a certain price, and they cap it off and saying it can't exceed this particular amount. But they just raised that up by 80%. You understand? So this is why they're all jacked up over there. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we can play it.
Okay, here we go. So we'll pay your energy bills, £1,000 as well. So this is energy bills, I think, for 4 months if it stops.
Come on.
So how are your energy bills? Are you a bit worried about it all?
Major.
Yeah. Are you?
I've got one of these prepayment meters, and it's absolutely murder.
Oh God. Right. Well, let's hope it lands on one of those then.
Oh God. Acting like she really care. Good Lord, man. These people.
Whatever, you're going to win some money, so don't worry. Here we go.
One way or t'other. Here we go. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Da, 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 da. £1,000 or energy bill. £1,000 or energy bill. It is going to be... It's your energy bill!
Oh my God, thank you.
We're paying your energy bill for 4 months.
Oh, fantastic.
No worries.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you very much.
Listen, well done you. That's
Okay, here we go.
Well done, you. Well done, you. Good Lord, man. You see these damn bastards, man. But this is what they're talking about. Now, forget about Price is Right. When are you going to win a new car? Oh, forget about, are you going to win the new dishwasher or the vacation to the Bahamas or Thailand? You dig? Now it's your price, your reward is actually going to be able to pay a bill that you ain't going to be able to pay to survive. That's what we talking about, man. Hunger Games type stuff, man. Competing just to, killing yourself just to live. And it's already starting in Europe, man. And they talking about civil unrest kicking in. Yeah, you damn right. You heard homeboy on there. He said, man, oh, it's murder. I'm on some prepaid bill. So they hitting him upside the head before he even using his power. Let's move on. Putin warns the West will keep freezing if energy price caps are imposed, and Russia will stop all gas and oil supplies. See, what they're trying to impose on Russia is they're saying they're going to cap off prices, and they're going to say we need that oil, but we're only going to pay this, and you're going to give it to us. Can you imagine if you're a business owner and somebody walks into your store and you're selling T-shirts and hats or whatever else, and they come in and they say, how much is the hat? $20. Well, I'm not paying more than 15, and you're gonna sell me that damn hat. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do just what Putin said, man. Stores closed. Get the hell out. F off. I don't need your money, man. I'm sitting up well already. I've got other buyers that's gonna buy my shirts and and hats. Beat it. Look, Putin told at an annual economic forum in the far eastern port city of Vladivostok that Western attempts to cap prices for Russian oil and gas were stupid. Yeah, because they trying to bully him and tell him, listen, we ain't you only gonna charge this much and that's it. We're capping you out on what you can charge. And he's like, what? This is my stuff. Get the hell up out of here. You stupid. What they say now? Are you dumb? That's what Putin basically saying to them. This is what I was talking about on Wednesday. Remember the November primaries coming up November 8th. Slow Biden's patting himself on the back, showing his fake teeth, how much he got gas down. Gas has been dropping down. Hey, but you know what, man? In California, they said gas is still on the average $5.34 for the state. North to south, average is $5.34. That's not down. It's the same all throughout the country. They ran a social experiment, man. They playing with people's heads. When you was paying $5.85 say you paying a little over $5, $5.50 in Detroit, and now it's down to $4.85 or $4.50 or $4.30 or $4.20. And you saying, man, gas is down. I'm glad. Shoot, $4.20. When last year you was paying $3.20. But see how he's got you to accept the fact that $4.20 is still good. I told you I got caught in that damn trap. Just for a hot second, I'm looking like, oh damn, I finally found gas under $5. It's an Arco down the street from my house. They're at four. I want to say the cheapest I think it is $4.69. So I'm there. Whoop. But I'm still like, it's $4.69, man. This is still high as hell. People are just happy to see it below $5. And many of the spots are still $5 and above. But you know what that did? That got people running around here talking about, we got to keep Biden in office. We can't allow. He ran around here with all the Trump rhetoric. He always got to pull Trump out the damn coffin. Utilize him and all this MAGA talk to get everybody scared that the Republicans are going to come in and they're going to start rioting and kill everybody if you don't vote for them. The Republicans is going to raise the prices on everything if you don't vote. Whoa. You already raised the prices, man. You already got the gas up. You already got the Biden inflation jumping up. You already got shrinkflation happening. You already got the gas prices out of control. You already got Bear Shells Biden jumping off. So, I mean, how much? What are you talking about? Trying to get somebody to fear some Republicans, man? You two wings of the same damn bird. Everything is in reverse. What he says somebody else is doing, he's really doing it. When he's running around talking about if you've got a little ounce of crack, not even an ounce, you need to be locked up, bare minimum 5 years, while his son is out there blazing, getting high as hell. Dope fiend like a mug. You see how that works? Everything is in reverse. He wants to talk about the moral fabric of the country. And his son is running around here paying hoes. Paying harlots. Russian, Thai. I mean, they even said on that laptop, man, it was underage girls. Yeah. Underage Asians on that laptop, man. But he's trying to tell you, oh no, everything's great over here. We're standing for the soul of America. But the soul is corrupted. You can have this. You can have that soul of America. You can get out of here, man. But you see what the end date is? October 2022. Strategic Petroleum Reserve oil releases from October 2021 through October 2022. He didn't start really doing this until March. April of this year is when he started really letting it go out here. He was shipping it out to the other countries. He was doing all of that. And remember, they hijacked that damn that oil tanker that had Iranian oil on it. Hijacked that one. They took that. So we got stolen oil and these oil reserves, and he said everything cuts off October 31st. By that time, it's 8 days before the primaries. Nobody's gonna notice that the gas done went up about 30 cents. After the primaries is over, they about to blast this thing right back up again. Cause the reserves is over with. Saudi Arabia said we ain't pumping no more oil, man. We want our money. Gas is going back up. December into 2023, gas is going back up. Food prices going back up because of that. Because the trucks, they got to pay more gas. They got to pay more to transport the goods. What goods are available? You understand? We're going right back in the same scenario, but worse. But he pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. Oh, I got gas down. Aren't you happy? I said I'd do it. Yeah, but you forgot to mention the setup. You got to set up with the pick and roll, man. You about to get the no look pass, and we about to be looking like, what happened? Boop. Things ain't gotten better. It's getting worse. Let's move on. 5 Uvalde officers who were on site during school shooting that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead are now under investigation. So the corruption continues. Remember when they was going so hard about school shootings? Oh, we got to grab the guns from citizens. We got a Second Amendment. What? Second Amendment? Who? No way. We need to study it. Now we're hearing about all kind of corruption that went on with that whole thing, man. All kind of corruption. Now you got. We talked about this before. I'm double back and go find some of the old DSTMs regarding this. From them standing down for an hour, from cops running away, from them withholding anybody from going in to jump in, to the door being left open for the shooter, to a cop seeing this guy shooting outside and letting him go creep up inside the school, to now they got the chief of police refusing to cooperate with the investigation. Now you got 5 of the damn cops being investigated. Nobody talking about all that corruption, man. They still saying, "Oh, second, we need your guns," or we'll talk about the corrupt cops and whatever else happened on that another time. But for right now, we're not going to let a good crisis go to waste. A good crisis. Well done, well done. So 5 cops now are under investigation, and 2 more are suspended with pay. See, there's rewards for their evil deeds, man. The actions of 5 Texas Department of Public Safety officers during the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde, Texas on May 24th are it's supposed to say under investigation for their behavior. But nonetheless, we see what's going on here. More corruption, more wickedness, more evil. Children died at their hands, man. And who they answer to? That's the question. We don't know who or how or what made them take the particular actions that they did that allowed these children to get shot and killed, and these teachers. And now they doubling back, and somebody got to take the blame. Somebody got to show and prove, man, that protocols was off. It looks like they allowed this to go down. I'm just saying. Let's move on. How's the school system doing? Y'all seen the article where it says 70% of teachers have thought about quitting? Has that gotten better? No. Everything is crashing. Frustrated parents lash out at Los Angeles school district after a massive cyber attack. Oh, a cyber attack, huh? We've talked about that before, haven't we? We're not even. we've talked about planned cyber attacks, haven't we? District after massive cyber attack shutdowns its computer systems and bring classes to a halt. Wasn't this supposed to be the celebratory time? Oh, schools are back open. Oh, no mask. Oh, we can finally get our kids out the house. They can finally go to school again and be with their friends. Oh, I can finally start going back to work again. Oh, I don't have to babysit and I don't have to be stressed out trying to relearn stuff and teach my kids homeschooling. Finally, let the damn schools and after school programs care for them. Let me go out and do what I need to do. And then you go in there, man, and now the parents is frustrated because the damn computer systems get cyber attacked and shut down everything, and they're talking about everything is crashing. Frustrated parents have lashed out at the Los Angeles school district after an unprecedented shutdown of its computer systems following a massive cyber attack. And they just got some more billions that's supposed to go into the LAUSD's infrastructure. And we know that that's not going anywhere. Well, this school system is a complete joke, man. Complete joke. Oh, Amazon. You want to talk more about the shutdowns? You want to talk about more about the economy? I mentioned all about the layoffs. Remember that? 50% of firms and companies throughout the country are planning on shutting down. Well, not shutting down, Salakia, but laying off and rescinding job offers and all of that other good stuff. Well, your favorite online shopping and mine. Amazon to close, scrap plans for dozens of warehouses amid slowing sales growth. Oh, slowing sales growth. I wonder what happened. Oh, the PPP loans is gone. EDD, that scam, all that money's gone now. Oh, people don't have all that. Oh, the stocks is crashing. You ain't got that money no more. Oh, okay. So now we see why this organized riots raiding 7-Elevens where people scavenging for whatever they can grab out of there, from chips to damn blunts. Now we can see why all these organized home invasions of celebrities is going down. Smash and grabs is happening in jewelry stores. Now we see why, open and blazing crime is happening in the streets. People out there just trying to survive and make a come up. Fast money. People got spoiled with fast money. Oh, the scam, the PPP scams, or the money coming, the unemployment scams, or you getting an extra 300. I ain't gonna say it's a scam, but if you're on unemployment, and they were saying, well, we'll give you an extra $300 on top of your unemployment. They keep printing up more money, and then there's less production going on because ain't nobody working. Everybody's quitting. Everybody's living off of, gig economies. Everybody got their money, man. Entrepreneured and started up their online businesses and went to OnlyFans and all this other. Now there's no growth. There's no economic growth in the infrastructure of America, and you got too much money floating around. That's what you call a recession. Hello, that's what we're in right now. Regardless of what they keep running around talking about. I mean, Jerome Powell. I played the video of him talking about, oh, we're in a light recession. We're going to need what do you say? Some economic slow down the economics or something. Whatever he said. Basically, we're gonna have to start laying some people off, right? So now Amazon, this megalith giant of business that's been swallowing up everything from Whole Foods to you name it. Now they got to close down some of these plans. They had big plans for the future. They said, oh, we got to scrap that. Sales are down. That's because people ain't got money like that no more. People are actually, I showed y'all the story. People taking out loans just to go buy groceries, getting cash advances just so that they can pay some bills. Robbing Peter just to pay, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know that old scenario. Putting payments on each bill rather than paying off whatever the month bill is. You understand? And now Amazon's saying, hey, we gotta slow this thing down too. Amazon's reportedly scrapping plans to build dozens of warehouse facilities across the United States amid slowed sales growth. So when Amazon gets hit, then it's a problem. The consulting firm MWPVL says that the online retail giant is either closing or abandoning plans to open 42 facilities across the country, totaling almost 25 million square feet of unsaleable space, Bloomberg reported. The firm says that Amazon has also delayed opening 21 other locations and canceled several European projects, mostly in Spain. So globally, they're shutting things down. Look at this guy. And always got some damn Negro, man, showing their teeth with their sleeve rolled up. But look at what this damn demon said. God gave us two arms, one for the flu treatment and the other for the DVOC treatment. Biden's DVOC coordinator says White House plans to push for annual jabs. I, did, didn't I say this a year and some change ago? Year and a half or more? They're not going to stop with those things. It's going to just keep coming. Now they've already pushed the agenda and said, oh, yeah, they're not going anywhere. Once you're in the system, once you're on that cycle, you've got to go ahead and get the, they want you to get it annually now. You understand? They want you to get it every year, just like a flu shot. I'm at my job right now. I got the religious exemption for the thing. Okay, cool. Now they've been sweating me since July. Are you boosted? We need you to have your compliance form signed for your booster. Blah 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 blah. And I'm trying to find out throughout the form and throughout the online thing. It's saying, where is it at for my? Why isn't this automatically grandfathered in to my religious exemption? My supervisor called me yesterday. She like, I got an email about your thing. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, hey, look, I've been trying. Why is it not grandfathered in? I got an exemption. Why are they asking me about this? She's like, I don't know, but you need to call HR or whatever. And I'm like, HR? Okay. Now I'm looking on the form to find out where the religious exemption is. It's not there no more. So now I'm questioning them, saying, are you saying that there's no religious exemption for the booster? All they have is a medical exemption. So now I'm trying to figure out what happened to the religious exemption now. All of a sudden there ain't one. So I'm fighting that right now. Because it makes no sense. If I didn't do the other thing, how the hell can you expect me to advance it? That's the type of foolishness that's going on. But this dummy right here has the nerve to try to include the Most High in this foolishness. And what he basically is pushing is get both. One on the right, one on the left. Do you understand? And trying to justify saying that's what the Most High created your arms for. Can you imagine these damn bastards? Look at this. Young children may need multiple pokes this year as experts prepare for a devastating influenza season. Oh, it's going to be devastating. Oh, they can't wait to let it out. They can't wait. And then it's going to be compounded with a new variant. That's why they're already saying get both. I'm going to move on. I'm not going to elaborate too much. Look at this. They want you to get the new one. And bring a friend. And that's coming from the White House. They want you double up. Can you imagine the audacity? And if you remember 2 weeks ago, maybe a week or some change ago, the DSTMI did the new rooster. The new rooster has not been tested on humans. Y'all seen that? So an untested treatment, and they want to give you don't they say that this one right here, they actually are giving you the antibodies of the influenza to help your natural antibodies fight it off. This is why everybody that gets the damn thing always gets sick. So here they are going to give you this and then boost it up. Oh my goodness, man! Y'all see where they're going with it. You understand? And look at it, a major milestone to fight against variant curveballs. Does that make sense? They're going to give you the influenza and then give it a supercharge. Good Lord. Let me move on. Man, these heathen, boy. Look at this. A scientist urged the Biden administration to launch an Operation Warp Speed to develop inhaled treatments. But China beat the U.S. to the punch. Of course. China's always on top. China is always subservient, man. China will do whatever White Zaddy and science says. Now they're running around blaming uh wasn't they blaming Trump for warp speed and saying that they were, remember all the Democrats that was running around talking about if Trump's behind it, I'm not getting it, quoting Kamala Harris, whatever, and then Kamala Harris, slow Biden said, "Are you gonna get it? I'm not gonna get it, and not until the proper sciences is done and all the questions can be answered." And they were saying all of that during the election while he had warp speed going on. There, I ain't got time to play the videos, and I'm not going to because I know how they play. But y'all can look them up. I'm sure some of y'all seen it and know what I'm talking about. From Kamala Harris to slow Biden to all of these cats was running around. All these Democrats running around talking about I'm not taking it. No, if Trump might have did something to it and all this other stuff. And then once slow Biden gets in, he gets hailed as the hero. When all he did was just adopt warp speed, kept Fauci on, and now he's this big hero. And they were saying, slow Biden, this is part of warp speed. You need to go ahead and jump into this experimental thing where you can inhale. No thanks. See, and they try to develop that because they knew people were going to say, we're not putting this in our arms. You're not going to poke me in the arm. Oh, well, don't worry about it. Here, just take this inhaler. And who knows what kind of nanobots was in that thing. If the damn Gooch is doing it, you know something might be wrong. But anyway, on Sunday, China's government approved CanSino Biologics inhaled DVOC 91 jab for booster as a booster dose. CanSino is private Tianjin-based vaccine maker that has partnered with the Chinese military run Academy of Military Medical Sciences to produce the treatments. The inhaled treatment uses the same technology as the firm's WHO organization approval viral vector DVOC 91 treatment. The new version is breathed in through the mouth, and clinical trial data showed that it was more effective as a rooster at preventing infections from the okra and other variants than the injectable. Inactivated treatments from Chinese firm Sinovac. CanSino's new vaccine is not just the first inhaled treatment for the DVOC, it is the first inhaled treatment for any disease. So this is completely new, untested, and look what the name, CanSino. What does that remind you of? Where else can you gamble? Where else can the house wins all the time? It's a little too close, isn't it? CanSino? Whose lives are they playing with? I'm cool, but you see the devil's in the details. Let me move on. Uh, Pfizer, they're not sharing their research for next generation studies. Remember, they already had the bill signed over that they're not going to release all of the data for, I think it's 75 years. They figure by then everybody's dead from this generation that was involved in the thing. So by the time the truth comes out, whatever that may be, YouTube, whatever the truth is, 75 years from now, you'll be able to find out. Lord willing, we ain't got to wait that long. For my believers out there, man, I can't see this place surviving another 75 years. Not without righteous judgment at all. But Pfizer says we're not sharing our data. Now look at this. Researchers studying next generation treatments to fight an evolving DVOG 91 threat are running into problems getting existing treatments to use in their research. Because Pfizer and Moderna hold the patents for the current treatments, researchers will likely have to get the company's permission to use them for research into products like nasal or pan, uh, treatment. Right now, Pfizer isn't sharing its treatment for research purposes. A spokesperson confirmed to Stat. Moderna didn't comment when we asked. Pfizer's stance is legal and in line with the company's commercial interests, said Anna Santos Ruchmans, a professor of law at Villanova University. So, in other words, they don't want to give up the research patterns. But what's the problem? You got a patent on it. They can't steal your stuff. So, for whatever reason, they're holding them back from finding out anything else that they don't want certain eyes to see. Let's move on. You see the headline. The hype is already there. Be prepared. They're not done with people. On the subject matter in regards to electric vehicles and all of that. We already talked about California by 2035, no more gas vehicles, everything electric. Ford plant already laying off people because they go in EV. They don't need any of them old mechanics, all them old builds and all that. No need for you. We're moving into EV. Problem is what? We don't have enough lithium globally to meet EV targets, a mining CEO says. See, this is the folly of the so-called white man. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke. Luke 14. Let me just read the whole. And let's look at this. Luke 14:28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first to count up the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? So, bare bottom line principles. Any investor, any builder, any construction, any architect, any CEO, so forth and so on, entrepreneur, Yahweh Shai laid down clear principles on how to start and establish a business, how to establish any type of particular work. He said, if you're trying to build a tower, if you don't sit down first and count the cost, whether you have sufficient to finish it, what's going to happen? Less happily, after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. White man's running around here talking about global warming, save the earth, Green New Deal, build back better, Great Reset, all based upon climate change. And then they're saying everybody needs to get rid of gas. We got to get rid of the coal. We got to get rid of all the nuclear energy. And then they say, what's the alternative? Oh, we're going to go electric. We're going solar. And then when they finally make all these particular announcements, then they go to the companies and say, okay, we've set these goals up. We're going to need you to get the lithium and everything else needed for these rechargeable batteries. And the CEO saying, I mean, we ain't got enough in the world for what you want. What the hell is wrong with you? This lets you know, man, this is agenda driven, Agenda 30, Agenda 2021, or Agenda 21, I should say, Agenda 30. This is all based upon sell the, what do they call it? Buy the hype, sell the news. You understand? So here they go, getting everybody geeked up and fearful that, the ice cap is getting ready to melt down and drown, half the earth. And then they say, oh, well, here's the alternative. And then they don't have sufficient enough to even accomplish it. So people is going to be out of a whole lot of things: resources, homes, lands, livestock, cars, everything. And then when they say, well, we don't have it, well, guess what? Everything that we've invested in are in these government subsidized homes, these micro apartments and these little mini homes and everything else. And you're going to have to go along with this plan of the beast if you want to survive. Oh, but don't worry. The CEO says, yes, we'll eventually have enough, but not by that time. So he's not acknowledging, oh yeah, we'll be able to get it. Let me clean that up. But we're not going to have it by the time that you're saying. Who knows how long it's going to take? Look, climate provisions in the Inflation Reduction Act put the U.S. back on track towards significant emissions reductions, potentially reducing greenhouse gas output by 40% 2005 levels. But one miner warned that when it comes to the transportation sector, domestic resources for lithium, the most critical mineral used for electric vehicle production, may not be sufficient enough to meet some of the most ambitious targets. The Biden administration, for instance, aims to slash the sale of gas powered vehicles to 50% of all new purchases by 2030. Yes, we'll eventually have enough, but not by that time. Keith Phillips, CEO of Piedmont Lithium, said in an interview with Yahoo Finance, there's going to be a real crunch to get the material. We don't have enough in the world to turn that much lithium production in the world by 2035. Did you hear that? Here's an expert miner. This is his business. He said, we don't have enough in the world to turn that much lithium production in the world by 2035, man. Let's move on. Look at this, man. Pregnant black activist now serving time will have her sentence reconsidered. Did y'all hear about this? This is a sister that was out protesting over the George Floyd um, sentencing and whatnot. She's pregnant. She's standing face to face with the cops. They said that her words was enough to arrest and imprison her for 4 years. 4 years for a First Amendment right. Now, let's read this. Brittany Martin is a pregnant black woman who is currently serving a 4-year prison term for her behavior at a 2020 racial justice protest in South Carolina, in which she essentially talked back to the police. You don't talk back to massa. You don't do that. Now her sentence is being reconsidered because she is struggling to reach her estimated maternal due date in prison, according to the Associated Press. Earlier this year, Martin was convicted of, quote, breaching the peace. And I say this for you brothers, and I was talking about brother Barack. Uh, let this be a forewarning for the men on the highways and the byways, man. First Amendment is going to be in jeopardy in the near future. When you can't even talk back to the police and they can quote a law saying that you're breaching the peace. Well, what happens when we're out there in the highways and the byways and the chief places of concourse and the owners of businesses are complaining? They're too loud. They're scaring off my customers. Oh, they're preaching hate. Oh, they're doing, all kind of manners of falsehoods that get spoken about us. And the cops pop up and say you're breaching the peace. You're arrested. I mean, we already know that's gonna happen. We already know that's on the table. Uh, Let's look at Luke 21. And where is it at? Um, let's look at this. Luke 21, and this is times of the ends, not only in the abomination and desolation and the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, but this is also future prophecy because it's cyclical that's going to happen to us in these days and times for holding the testimony of Yahweh Shai. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn you, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. He said, let it already be sown in your mind. Don't meditate on what you're gonna say to answer. Let the Holy Spirit, man, lead and guide. See this? It said, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. So we're going to be filled with the Holy Spirit of the Lord, man, and we're going to be able to righteously dispute and talk our way out of situations. But he says some is not going to be able to do it. But he says, settle it therefore in your hearts that this is going to go down. Look, it said, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Are the Christians prepared for this? Are they teaching this in the churches? Or they just keep talking about love, 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 prosperity, money, all the extras? What are they talking about in them damn hellholes, man? So for the brothers that's on the highways and the byways, man, this is imminent. He shall not regard the old nor the young. The woman is pregnant, locked up. She's facing all kind of medical complications. They put her in solitary confinement because she wouldn't cut her dreads, because that's part of the I guess the grooming protocols in this particular jail that she's at. Might be in all of them. They said that she can have cornrows. It has to be neatly pulled back, but she can't have dreads. So they put her in a hole for that. She says she's been abused. Now they're talking about why they might have to reconsider her sentence because they're breaching her pregnancy. But what they charged her with? Earlier this year, Martin was convicted of breaching the peace in an aggravating manner over comments she made to police during a 2020 protest. Her attorneys have been advocating for a shorter sentence due to increasing concerns about both her health and that of her baby, who was due in November. Although the jury acquitted Martin on charges of inciting a riot and did not reach a verdict about whether she threatened officers' lives, prosecutors presented the breach of peace charge as, quote, high and aggravated, which carries up to 10 years in prison. Breaching the peace in and of itself is punishable by no more than a $500 fine and 30 days in jail. How the hell does she get 4 years out of that? Breaching the peace by law says it's only punishable by a $500 fine and 30 days in jail. And they said that they dropped the charge of her inciting a riot. And basically what she said was, we're sick of this. I'm ready to die for this. I'm ready to die for the black. You better be ready to die for the blue. Basically, like, listen, this is where we're at. I'm ready to stand up here for my people. I hope you're ready to die for your job, if that's the case. They said, oh, that's a threat. You threatened a cop. What? That's a statement. That's just a question. How's that a threat all of a sudden? That's why they had to drop the inciting a riot, because they was like, come on, we can't do that. Oh, but we are going to hit her upside the head with, oh, it's high and aggravated breaching of the peace. Give her 4 years. Can you imagine? And meanwhile, here she is, uh, struggling with this baby. But since when has a white man cared about these babies, man? Second Maccabees 6:10. For hold up, let's go up here first of all. Second Maccabees 6:6. It says, "This is during the time of the Greeks, man. We was going under heavy persecution. They ransacked, took over the temple, man. Had prostitutes all over the place, corrupted the priests. They had paid off Pharisees and the whole nine, man. Israel was out there completely living like Gentiles, turned out, right? And then you still had a remnant that was still maintaining and keeping the laws. But here's the law of the land. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So they laid it down and said, "You're not going to keep these Sabbaths. You're not going to keep the Day of Atonement. You're not going to go out there and profess yourself to be a Jew. Otherwise, that's considered sedition against the law, and we're going to lock your ass up, or we're going to put you to death. One or the other. Which one do you want? You're not going to talk back to the police, huh? Sound familiar? You're not going to make any threats. And if you stand up for your people, you're going to get locked up." But I'm pregnant. Verse 10. "For there were two women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes handing at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall." Did you hear that? "For there were two women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city," these women had their circumcision was against the law. They openly said, we're out here with our children. They're circumcised. People heard about it, knew about it. Next thing you know, babies was getting snatched out of their hands while they're breastfeeding, and they were slammed headlong into the walls. And we're supposed to forget about that. We're supposed to say that was the past. How can we do that when we can still reflect back and we can look at something like this, where a sister is in prison for what should have been a $500 fine or 30 days in jail, and she's at risk of losing her baby because they accelerated her prison term and they out there torturing her in there. Just for what? Talking back to the police and standing up for her people. But look at this. Oh, there's no white privilege though. No white privilege. Look at the proud looking Edomite right here. Here you go. "He chose to leave him there and die. Family's furious. Judge says Hampton's hit and run driver, 20, will serve no jail time under a plea deal for killing the 18-year-old before fleeing the scene." So he hit this East Indian kid, little Elamite, put him to death, fled the scene, left him to die. Then when he gets sentenced, hold on, excuse me, when he goes to his court hearings, no jail time for murder. Hey, but a sister can't talk back to the cops. She gets 4 years. Black man steals a piece of pizza, man. He gets his third strike in California. Life. Devish Divu Samtani, 18, was enjoying a summer night out in the Hamptons August 10th, 2021, when a speeding car struck him on a dark highway. His cousin Kabir Kurani describes how he heard the crunch of his cousin hit the ground a few feet away from the curb after being flung in the air. He died 3 days later in the hospital. The driver, Daniel Campbell, who was 19 at the time, fled the scene of the crash and made plans to flee the state. According to Sam Tanny, family lawyer, he told cops who later arrested him at his Montauk home that when he saw the damage to his car, he said, "I thought I killed him." He's concerned about his car. So he said he knew he hit him so hard, the damage to his car, he thought he killed somebody. He fled off. I mean, what's the difference between him, Dylan Roof, going into a black church, killing 9 people, them picking him up and then saying, "Hey, want to go to Burger King before we turn you in?" Or how about the Edomite meth head that was locked up in the car? Remember her? I just showed y'all about a week and a half ago. She gets a hold of the cops' AR-15 and gets to shot the cop and an innocent bystander. They had her surrender, no problems. I mean, come on. August 5th, Campbell pleaded guilty in Suffolk County Criminal Court to a single felony count of leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. Single felony count of leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. They didn't talk about him killing somebody. They didn't talk about hit and run. They said, man, just because you left, man, and you killed him, somebody died there, man, and you left. That's the problem. It's okay if you killed a little sand nigga. Who cares? But you shouldn't have left. Now we got to deal with this. Do you understand? In accepting the plea deal, Justice Richard Ambrose gave Campbell no jail time and 5 years on probation. His sentencing date was delayed to September 22nd. See, let's move on, man. Okay, back to the food crisis. Bird flu forces the egg farm to euthanize 3 million chickens. All right, this out of Toledo, Ohio. Bird flu is happening over in California, Ohio. They're massively having to kill off chickens now. So that's also leading into more food shortages happening. See, the highly pathogenic disease has returned to the Midwest earlier than authorities expected after a lull of several months of cases in Indiana, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Wisconsin within the past week. There have been several detections in western states over the summer. So multiple states, multiple chicken farms, they're having to kill off millions of damn chickens because of this bird flu. So food shortages, chicken shortages, or the price of chicken going up, you betcha. Look at it. Look at the heinous crime going on, man. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. A man arrested after beheading a young mother in middle of San Carlos Street, law enforcement says. Lieutenant Iman Allen of San Mateo County Sheriff's Office short on details, no specifics on TRO or domestic violence calls to the address stabbing instrument used in a crime still missing, kids not present at the time of the killing. The woman was 25. She had 2 kids. I don't know if she was a Jake or not. So I said, man, they said the dude had a sword, chopped her in the middle of the street, cut her head off. Uh, I think later the details said that it was a domestic issue. I don't know if he was, involved with the woman or not. We don't know. But just the fact that you're seeing this happening in the streets now, let alone the regular crimes, MFers is getting their heads chopped off in the streets. And our people is out here trying to practice their TikTok dances, trying to go viral. I mean, come on. What's wrong with our people, man? UPS is planning to strike. What's that going to do for the shipping industry? What's that going to do for deliveries of packages and so forth and so on? One of the biggest strikes in U.S. history is brewing at UPS. So more of the infrastructure of America, Babylon falling, crushing, right? Over the past year, the nascent labor movements at mighty corporations like Starbucks and Amazon have grabbed national attention, but less well known is a looming high stakes clash between one of America's oldest unions and the world's biggest package carrier. Contract negotiations are set to begin in the spring between UPS and the Teamsters Union ahead of the current contract's expiration at the end of July 2023. Already before the talks have even started, labor experts are predicting that the drivers and package handlers will go on strike. The question is how long it's going to be. You understand? So they already got the videos, man. And these cats out here delivering packages, dropping out, passing out at doors because it's too hot. They don't have air conditioning in the trucks and all this other stuff. So of course they're gonna ride out here and say, "Look, we want more money. We out here risking our lives, delivering these packages through these heat storms. I mean, heat waves and everything else." I used to have an old roommate. He used to work at UPS. That dude used to come back wore out. It was constant unloading them trucks, packages coming every minute, loading them up. He didn't have to go to the gym. He was working out every day. Fortunately for him, it was just a part-time gig, but he was hustling though. But UPS says we've had enough. So they looking to strike sometime next year, man. They said this could be one of the biggest strikes in U.S. history. A lot of the economic infrastructure of America is going to go down the toilet and globally. Outcry as Chinese lockdown traps residents during the earthquake. Remember, they got 65 million people locked down over there. And in some instances, I've seen videos where they were welding doors because people were trying to escape. So here you got earthquake 6.6 happening, killing 65 people. And many of these people that were locked down in these damn quarantines can't even get out. Look on the bottom. In some instances, apartment buildings where at least one person had tested positive for that thing have been designated, quote, sealed areas where residents are forbidden from setting foot outside their homes, whether or not they have that thing. Sealed areas. And I'm saying literal soldering irons out there sealing up doors, chasing down anybody, jumping off balconies and all that, grabbing people, slamming them back up in the house. So now they're in these lockdowns. They couldn't even leave and run or try to escape or seek refuge when that earthquake hit. All because, Emperor Xi Jinping said, no, we got a zero tolerance policy for that thing that's running around here. Okay. Look at it. More teeth for wild beasts. I just be stumbling on this stuff. Small piranhas. Look at it. Beachgoers in California plagued by swarms of tiny hungry bugs that bite their feet and toes, causing pain and drawing blood. Tiny flesh-eating bugs known as Exerolana chiltani that travel in swarms up to 1,000 are wreaking havoc along California's coastline. The isopods live in the sand and usually feast on dead fish, but they're not picky eaters and have been known to attack humans. It was painful. I was like, I ain't gonna read that crap. But we're seeing here, even most eyes unleashing bugs, foxes, whales, alligators, um, sharks. You understand? The teeth of wild beasts and other animals are revolting. Look at this: U.S. tourists killed in the Bahamas shark attack. So the animals is back. They're on the rampage. Death is all in the air. Okay. Portland is completely collapsing. My brother in the Pacific Northwest, he knows what time it is. We constantly hear about the zombie nature and what's going on in that place up there. I'm done with Portland. Furious residents of the Democrat-led city revealed to DailyMail.com why they have no choice but to sell their homes as homeless drug addicts set up camp right outside their front doors. Yeah, well, they're liberal up there. They say, hey, you know, we love everybody. We want you to be able to shoot up and get high and do what you want wherever you want. We got drug-free zones. You can go do what you need to do. Set up your tent, live wherever you want to, shit on the damn floor, on the concrete if you want. We'll feed you. They're telling about people posting up right in front of their house, and they can't get rid of them. So Portland is pretty much a wrap. San Francisco's right behind them. LA is right there. All the places where the exodus of people is running up out of these states is because of these quote unquote Democrats led spots that just leave it open for all hell to break loose. Look what they doing in New York. I mean, they got the laws now, man, where a dude can go out there and stab somebody up, get locked up for 24 hours. They let him out, then he go out there and shoot somebody. There's all kind of folly going on. Look at Lori Lightfoot over there in Chicago. She got stacks of damn parking and speeding tickets. She ain't paying them. And her response is telling the police, "You can't chase nobody. Let them go." This is how you see, man. They're going to set up this whole place, man, to just turn itself inside out. People are going to turn parasitic and feed on each other. That opens up the door for 2 Ezra 15, where it says, "Man, a man's not going to spare his neighbor for want of bread, sedition amongst men, friends fighting against each other." All of that. Well, they're opening up the recipe for all of that to take place. That's all. That's it. That's all. Hopefully everybody uh soaked in some of this good game that we shared today or this evening, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. What I miss? What else? Naphtali said he gonna bet on black for 2,000. Hey, I hear that because they out there playing casino with people's lives. Damn chink say, man, go ahead and inhale. What Bill Clinton said when he was smoking weed, he said he didn't inhale though, huh? Well, you try to impose that on me, I'm gonna pull a Bill Clinton. Yeah, I had it, but I didn't inhale. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while you help us out, man. Hopefully, everybody, locked in this evening, man, is gonna have a blessed evening. Um, always remember, man, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, man. Any questions, man? Everybody, all right? Everybody good? Got a good little late night hype session, man. Appreciate y'all staying up with me. But as long as everybody's solidified and good, man, I guess we're gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of our Shabbat in this evening, man. We'll be online tomorrow, man. 4:15 Pacific Standard Time, man. Lock in with us. Ironically, man, I think it's raining right now. It's supposed to be raining. We ain't had rain out here in years. I mean, literally. You probably put in a bucket how much rain we've had probably in the last 2 years out here, man. And all of a sudden we get in a damn tropical storm in the ghetto. We ain't nowhere near no damn tropics, man. Geoengineering, if you ask me. You heard? So all right, man. Hopefully everybody's solidified and good, man. Always, the motto, man. Fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and don't ever shoot your messenger, man. I'm out, y'all, man. Love y'all. Y'all be well. Lord willing, connect with y'all tomorrow, man. Shalom. Naphtali, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Appreciate you, Shalak, Kohath, the rest of the fam out there, man. Karatazar, who I miss? Roof 116, Shalom. Ivan, Shalom to you. Mega Man 8. Or did I say that? Maine. Is that how y'all do it down south? Maine. I'll be watching Little Boosie. Come on, Maine. Come on, Maine. Mega Man 8. All right, man. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, family. I'm out of here.